Welcome to the Run Your Day podcast, a show dedicated to helping you expand your capacity, take your life in every area to an entirely new level, and creating a day and a life by design. Here's your host, Dan Hafner. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Run Your Day podcast. As always, Dan Hafner, the host and founder of the app Runwage, here to talk to you today about this. Your life is a system. As always, I appreciate you all joining. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode. All right, my friends. So I had a pretty big revelation the other day. I actually got this while I was running. I was listening to a podcast, a different podcast I listened to, and kind of gave me the idea for this. This concept of systems, right? When you think about a system, like what is a system? It has components, it has parts. You think about a factory, right? A machine that has a specific result and an outcome that it's trying to get through this process, right? You think about like a hay baler. You ever see like a hay baler? You know how it has like all these parts and all these machines and it spits out a bale of hay? That's just the first thing that comes to mind. But it's a system, right? There's all kinds of different parts working in harmony that create one result. That's a system, right? So inside of your life and inside of my life and inside of all of our experiences, we ourselves as human beings become a system, right? And before I dive into that, I want to tell you a little bit of just backstory on this. So, as I've gone down the entrepreneurial and sales and marketing rabbit holes and all the different things I've done with this podcast and with the Runwage app and all the different things that I've done, I've found consistently that like technology is set up to give us systems. Like it's always designed to make our lives easier, right? We have apps, we have tools, we have software, we have all kinds of things. I talked a little bit about this in the last episode, but there's all these things out there that exist that are designed to make our lives easier. But they only work if we work them, if we leverage them, right? Like the app Runwage, for example, right? It doesn't work unless you use it, unless you leverage what's in there to make it work, right? And you can have any kind of running app. You can have like a to-do list app, but it doesn't get the work done for you. You have to still do the work, right? So inside of this system of productivity or achievement or whatever you want to call it, there's a constant in there that is you. You are a constant part of your productivity and achievement system, right? You can use whatever app you want, whatever journal you want, whatever software you want, Microsoft Project, Zoom, all these different things that are out there. And in the end, those things are great and useful and can lead to more productivity. But in the end, you are the one variable inside of the system. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like because I found in my life and as I went down the rabbit hole with these, that I found myself to stop being consistent with things. I've started and stopped this podcast multiple times. I've really dove into, making my app the biggest and best thing that I could. And then I had a couple months where I didn't do anything with it. Right. And I realized this multiple times, but it's really starting to sink into my brain lately with everything that's changed in my life and everything that's changed in the world and all this stuff, because what I see consistently is, people want to put a week's worth of work into something and expect big ass results from it. Or people want to figure out a hack, a quote unquote hack of like, man, just what's one way I can just get this quick result, right? It's like, well, those things are out there, but do they last? Do they create a consistent system of success and productivity in your life? Probably not, right? Because you, the constant, are ignoring your role in the system. of showing up consistently, of doing the thing that you need to be doing, whatever that thing is, you know? So I'll have you consider, like, where in your life are you failing inside of your system? You know what I mean? Like, where are you forgetting that, you know what, like, yeah, I have all these things. I have all this accountability. I have all this technology at my fingertips, but ultimately I'm the crappy part of the system, right? Because what I started to notice was I always went down this path of like, well, I tried this one thing and it didn't work. So let me go try this thing. And then, well, that didn't work. And let me go try this thing and that didn't work. Or like, and it was technology after technology after technology after software after hack after system after whatever. Right. And what it took me so many failures to realize that I was the weak link. Like no matter what system I like tried to set up for achieving things and doing bigger things, my capacity was not big enough for that system. I was the constant failure mechanism. I was, right? And I can still be that. But and now that I'm aware of it, I know that it all comes down to a measure of my capacity, right? You hear this all the time inside of, entrepreneur groups or Facebook groups or whatever. Like your business is only as good as you, right? Your business will only grow as much as you grow personally, which is why I think starting a business and going down the path of entrepreneurship is the biggest or best self-development course you could ever do, right? Because it just forces you to just change who you're being. You know what I mean? But yeah, I want you to think about this concept, and I hope that you're kind of thinking about this as I go along throughout this process and this story of where are you the weak link? Like where in your life are you trying something over and over and over and failing over and over and over and blaming something else? Like, man, I really thought that I could stick to something this time, but that stupid app I have, it just not working. Or like, man, I really thought I could eat healthy this time, but that stupid diet's just not working, right? Or like, man, I really thought we could just be consistent with date night and stuff, but like my wife, she's just not showing up or she's just not into it, right? Because what's the constant thing in all of those examples? You. You. It's not your wife. It's not your husband. It's not your app. It's not your software. It's not your phone. It's not your dog. It's not your kids. It's not your family. It's not your company. It's not your boss. It's not your coworkers. It's you. You are the ultimate weak link. But that's good news because you are the solution. Do you see where I'm getting at here? Like you're the solution to this. Because if you are the one that your capacity is not big enough right now to pull off something that you want inside of that system, make yourself better. Make yourself more efficient. Make yourself more consistent. Make yourself, obtain a new skill set, practice things, get reps in. Then you become stronger. Then you become better. Then you become the strong link in that system with the consistency, with the practice that shows up and actually knocks it out of the park that time. So if you notice anywhere in a system, inside of a habit or inside of an area of your life where shit just keeps not working and you don't know why, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror and take ownership of the fact that you're the problem. like like you're the problem, and that's okay. Like you don't have to be hard on yourself. Like I used to beat myself up so much about this. But realizing that that's a blessing in disguise, because if you are your biggest enemy, you are also your greatest asset. I'm going to repeat that for you. If you are your biggest enemy, you are also your greatest asset. You are your greatest asset. The things that you do to yourself, in your mind, in your skill sets, in your mindsets are going to be the changing factor in the system that gets you what you want. So where in your life is that? Where are you the weak link that you can turn yourself into the greatest asset? All right. I'd love to hear from you guys. You can hit us up on Facebook, or you can email me at support@runyourdaypodcast.com. I'd love to hear what you have to say. All right, everybody. That's all. As always, I appreciate you guys joining. If you haven't yet, I got a couple new things inside of the RunWage app. You can go to runwageapp.com, download the app for free, and get started today. We're doing some really cool things. Got some cool things coming down the pipe, and yeah, we're going to have accountability groups, all kinds of different stuff. So it's going to be really, really fun. I'm excited for it. All right, my friends. Well, that is all. I appreciate you guys joining today. Dan Hafner signing off. Make it a great rest of your day. Hey, have you ever thought about joining a virtual run challenge? As COVID-19 continues to upend our lives and change our life routines, finding fresh ways to challenge yourself physically can be difficult. I know I'm having trouble with that. It can also be pretty hard to connect with others and find accountability partners for the purpose of fitness as well. That's why we created RunWage Virtual Challenges. RunWage Challenges are a new and exciting way to stay physically active and maintain social distancing. Every challenge takes place 100% online, and you can compete against and engage with runners from all over the world. Best of all, they are the only virtual challenges out there which actually reward participants with real cash. That means you have no excuse for staying inactive during this pandemic. So if you've been looking for a fresh and interesting way to stay active and get your miles in, go to runwageapp.com/virtual challenges to join me and the diverse community of runners already competing. That's runwageapp.com/virtual challenges. Can't wait to see you there.